Hello, Cool family, like and subscribe to the channel to know everything about Barcelona. In this video, we will talk about a huge masterstroke for Barcelona, but before that, we need to address other topics that are also very important for our beloved club. Let's start with the first point. Barcelona is on the verge of sealing a deal that could mark an era in the club, a strategic move that ensures the continuity of one of the greatest gems that have emerged in recent years. According to information from sources close to the footballer's entourage and as reported by Libreta Digital, the young striker is very close to signing a new contract that will consolidate him as one of the best-paid players in the squad, with a salary structure and image rights that confirm the club's absolute confidence in his potential and the firm commitment to protect the talent that emerges from within. As a Cool, I can only say that this news fills me with enthusiasm and pride. This deal is not just any deal, but a transcendent step for the sports project led with such firmness and clarity by Hansi Flick, who, as confirmed in the corridors of the Ciudad Deportiva, has given the green light to the operation and clearly indicated that he counts on the young striker as a fundamental piece for the years to come. This is no coincidence. The performance and progress he has shown in recent months fully justify the club's commitment to this renewal, which comes at a key moment, just as the player approaches adulthood, a milestone he will reach in July. The new contract that Barcelona is about to formalize has all the ingredients of a deal designed for a footballer destined to lead the squad in the short, medium, and long term. The contract will extend for 5 or 6 seasons, still to be determined based on certain details that are being finalized, but which, in any case, will guarantee his continuity beyond 2031. For me, this is a clear and resounding message from the sports management. We are betting on the best, on those who feel the colors, and we are offering them the conditions to develop their entire career here. From an economic point of view, the renewal is spectacular. The young player will go from a net salary of €1.6 million per year to an impressive 15 million net, a figure that reflects not only his growing importance in the team but also the club's intention to avoid external temptations in a market where the big European clubs are always on the lookout. Additionally, the contract includes an annual bonus of 5 million, bringing his total earnings to figures that only established stars on the global stage receive. In my opinion, this is proof that at Barcelona, we understand that homegrown talent must be cherished, protected, and, above all, valued as it deserves. But the sophistication of this contract is not limited to the salary aspect. It includes a goal-based revision clause that will allow the footballer to improve his earnings based on individual achievements, such as international awards, which I find very smart on the part of the management. This encourages ambition and excellence but also ties the player's economic growth to his performance and sporting success. If the most optimistic forecasts come true, the player could earn close to 25 million net per season in his third year under this new agreement. A staggering figure, yes, but one that matches a talent destined to mark an era. The distribution of image rights is also worth highlighting, as it reflects a balance that benefits both parties. The footballer will retain 90% of the revenue derived from his image rights, while Barcelona will secure 10%, a percentage that guarantees the club a share in the future commercial benefits of a figure who, without a doubt, will continue to increase his market value year after year. In my opinion, this deal is a testament to modernity and an understanding of the new dynamics of professional football, where players are not just elite athletes but also true global brands. As a Cool, I consider this operation to be a masterstroke by Joan Laporta and his team, who have once again demonstrated their ability to successfully manage the club's strategic affairs. It is no surprise that they waited until this moment to sign the deal, just as the footballer is about to reach adulthood and make a definitive leap in his professional career. This is a move that combines long-term vision with a special sensitivity towards the player, offering him stability and confidence in the project, while also valuing his current contribution and future potential. Furthermore, I think this renewal carries enormous symbolic weight. After complicated years where the club has had to face economic restrictions and difficulties in retaining some of its greatest talents, securing a gem like this sends a message of hope and strength to all Cool supporters. It reminds us that Barcelona remains a club capable of generating, retaining, and enhancing the best footballers in the world, especially those who have grown under the shelter of our cantera, a heritage we have always considered sacred. On the other hand, this renewal strengthens the sports project led by Hansi Flick, who is very clear that the future of Barcelona lies in combining the experience of some established players with the drive of young talents trained at home. Having a figure like the one we are about to renew is key to providing the team with imbalance, freshness, creativity, and, above all, that differential spark that so often makes the difference in important matches. From a competitive point of view, securing this talent will allow Barcelona to face the upcoming challenges in the next seasons with more guarantees, both in national and European competitions. There is no doubt that the player will continue to grow under Flick's direction, polishing aspects of his game, acquiring tactical maturity, and taking on more responsibilities on the field. I have followed this footballer's trajectory with attention and appreciated every time he has displayed his talent on the field. Knowing that he will continue to defend our colors for many years fills me with joy and hope that, with him as one of the references, we can relive great European nights, conquests in national competitions, and, ultimately, moments of glory that we have always dreamed of, we who love this club. That is why I would like to ask all Kuhl supporters a question. What do you think of this renewal? Do you consider it, like me, as one of the best pieces of news we could receive at this time? In my opinion, it is not just about retaining a great footballer but consolidating a management model that bets on homegrown talent, recognizes the value of those who have grown in the house, and builds the future of the team on solid foundations. The second piece of news concerns a very important decision in our beloved club. The return of Neymar to Barcelona has been, for months, one of those topics that generates debate, enthusiasm, and also a certain nostalgia among Kuhl supporters. We cannot deny that his figure has left an indelible mark on the club's recent history, with memorable performances that have made us dream and vibrate in every match. However, the club has made a decision that I consider absolutely correct, to definitively rule out any attempt to bring back the Brazilian footballer. As a Kuhl, I celebrate this firm and courageous position that prioritizes the future over nostalgia, the long-term sports project over the media splash. It is no secret that Joan Laporta has always been a great admirer of Neymar and that on several occasions, he has initiated contacts with his entourage to explore the possibility of his return. The context seemed favorable. The player will end his contract with Santos on June 30th and would arrive freely, with the motivation to get back in shape for the 2026 World Cup, his last great international goal. Economically, the operation seemed affordable with a salary close to €10 million per season, a figure that fits into the new salary model adopted by the club, characterized by moderation and financial balance. Moreover, we cannot deny that his football profile fit perfectly. A left winger with experience, undeniable quality, and offensive versatility that could have offered interesting variants to the game system. However, despite these apparent advantages, Barcelona has decided to definitively close the door to Neymar, and has done so in the only way it knows, by looking to the future, betting on those who are here and those who are coming, on those who represent the present and future of the club. Hansi Flick, our new leader on the bench, has given the green light to this decision, demonstrating that his project is based on a clear, coherent, and ambitious vision. It is not about reviving old glories, but about building new stories, enhancing the talent that emerges from the cantera, and consolidating a team that, beyond names, is defined by an idea of play, a philosophy, and an identity that makes us unique. The first reason that led the sports management to reject Neymar's return is precisely this: the firm confidence in the young talent that is already emerging in the team. The emergence of figures who, with barely a few years in the elite, have already earned the affection and admiration of Kuhl supporters is the greatest source of pride for us. These players represent the new era of Barcelona, and in this context, the arrival of a figure as media-driven as Neymar could have represented a break or a distraction in the process of consolidating these young promises. Furthermore, there is a factor that cannot be ignored: Neymar's physical condition. Since his return to Brazil, he has barely been able to maintain continuity due to constant muscle injuries, added to the long and complex recovery from the ligament rupture he suffered in 2023. In an increasingly demanding football, where intensity and regularity are fundamental, the medical reliability of a player is a key aspect in any decision of this magnitude, and unfortunately, in this case, doubts weigh more than certainties. Barcelona, as an institution, has learned from past mistakes and has understood that operations of this type, based more on nostalgia than on cold and rational analysis, usually do not end well. That is why, this time, it has been chosen to close the Neymar chapter, this time definitively, and sincerely, I think it is the best thing to do. We are at a crucial moment for the club. The sports reconstruction involves maintaining a coherent, sensible, and aligned transfer and renewal policy with the economic reality we are living. We cannot mortgage the future of the club for impulsive or emotional decisions, and in this case, the management has acted responsibly, prioritizing financial stability and the development of the sports project above any other consideration. The decision also reinforces confidence in the work of Hansi Flick, who has demonstrated having a modern and pragmatic vision of football. His bet on a model where the collective prevails over individualities, where talent is cultivated and enhanced sustainably, is exactly what Barcelona needs at this stage. It is not about names or flashy titles, but about building a solid competitive team prepared to face the great upcoming challenges. Of course, I understand that a part of the supporters may feel a certain sadness or disappointment at not seeing Neymar with the Blaugrana jersey again. His magic, his audacity, and his ability to decide matches in a second will always be remembered with affection and admiration. But football, like life, moves forward, and it is necessary to know how to close chapters to open new ones, with renewed enthusiasm and the conviction that the best is yet to come. This decision also sends a very powerful message to the dressing room and the supporters. Here, we do not recruit on impulse, but with a plan, an idea, and a project, and that is something that, as a CUL, I deeply appreciate. We have gone through difficult times with decisions that, at the time, were made without a clear strategy and ended up affecting the sports performance and economic health of the club. Today, on the other hand, I see a serious, committed management that knows where it wants to take Barcelona. Furthermore, I think it is fundamental to highlight that the club has been able to resist the temptation to make a transfer that, although it could have generated a great media and commercial impact, would not have brought the stability or future projection that the team needs at this moment. We must not forget that resources are limited and that every decision must be oriented towards maximizing the sports and financial performance of the club. From my point of view, this refusal to recruit Neymar reflects a club that has matured, that has learned from its mistakes, and that, above all, knows how to value and prioritize its own, those who are here, fighting every day, giving their all in every training session and every match, growing and improving to bring Barcelona back to the top of world football. That is why I would like to ask a question to all CUL supporters. What do you think of this decision? Personally, I think Barcelona has done the right thing. We have chosen to look to the future, to bet on the future, to continue building a team that does not depend on individualities but is strengthened as a bloc, as a group, as a family united by a common goal, to return the club to the place it deserves in the elite of European and world football. Furthermore, this decision aligns perfectly with the economic strategy implemented by the management in recent years. Controlling expenses, optimizing resources, and betting on a sustainable model are key to guaranteeing the viability and success of the club in the medium and long term. The third piece of news concerns a huge blow for the club. Barcelona finds itself at one of the key moments in the transfer market, moving forward firmly with the incorporation of Alexis Allister, the talented Argentine midfielder who, according to all information coming from England and the county town itself, has 1.5 foot out of Liverpool. Everything indicates that it will be a matter of weeks before his arrival at our club is official, where he will sign for 5 seasons and become one of the cornerstones of the new project led from the bench by Hansi Flick, who, by the way, has given his full approval to the operation. Joan Laporta and the sports management are moving all the necessary pieces to finalize the operation in the coming days. Barcelona will have to pay the €55 million that Liverpool demands for the transfer of the Argentine midfielder, a considerable sum but one that is fully justified in a market where players of this level are rare and sought after by the most powerful clubs in Europe. Moreover, the imminent departure of one of the current starters in midfield will allow the club to approach the operation with a greater economic margin, both for the revenue that this sale will represent and for the relief of the wage bill. From my point of view as a CUL, I must say that the operation seems to me a total and strategic success. Allister is a player of undeniable quality, with experience in the demanding Premier League and, above all, with the necessary character to triumph in a club like Barcelona. He is a footballer who combines great tactical intelligence with notable technical ability, qualities that allow him to play in multiple positions in midfield, adapting to different schemes and needs as required by the coach. Hansi Flick, who has taken on the responsibility of leading the team in this new stage, is clear that the midfield had to be strengthened with a profile like that of Allister, a player with creative ability but also with physical deployment, tactical rigor, and arrival in the opponent's box. The Argentine has amply demonstrated these qualities both during his time in the Premier League and with the Argentine national team, where he has participated in the most demanding moments and has performed at the highest level. Furthermore, the incorporation of Allister fits perfectly into the transfer policy that the club has implemented in recent years, betting on players who, beyond their quality, bring professionalism, commitment, and a winning mentality. We are not talking about a promise to develop or a passing footballer, but a key piece that can lead the CUL midfield for several seasons. In my opinion, this is what Barcelona needs right now. Footballers who are at their peak and can perform from the first minute. It is also worth highlighting the strategic nature of this operation. It is not just about strengthening the squad, but about sending a clear message to the market and the supporters. Barcelona is still capable of competing with the best, attracting top-level footballers, and building ambitious projects. After several complicated years economically and sportingly, Operations like that of Allister show that the club is regaining its maneuvering capacity and is being managed with intelligence, prioritizing moves that truly bring a leap in quality to the squad. From a sporting point of view, the arrival of Allister will allow Flick to have a greater variety of options in midfield. The Argentine can play as an interior midfielder, as a central midfielder, and even as a playmaker, depending on the needs of the team and the profile of the matches. His ability to offer solutions in different phases of the game is one of his main assets. In ball possession, he brings clarity and precision. In high pressing, he offers intensity and discipline. And in the final third, he can surprise with arrivals from the second line or by threading passes that break defenses. Moreover, his experience in European competitions and his competitive mentality are added values. Allister knows what it is like to play under pressure, to face rivals of the highest demand, and to fight for important titles. His incorporation, therefore, brings not only quality to the team but also character and leadership, two fundamental aspects for a club like Barcelona, which always aspires to the maximum and needs footballers capable of withstanding and managing the pressure that comes with wearing this jersey. Economically, as I have already mentioned, the operation is facilitated by the imminent departure of one of the current midfielders of the team, which will generate revenue and free up the wage bill to face the transfer of Allister. This circumstance has been key for the management to decide to accelerate the procedures and finalize the operation as soon as possible. I think it is a very well-planned move that demonstrates that the club is learning from past mistakes and is now acting with more foresight and coherence in the transfer market. On the other hand, we cannot ignore the importance of the fact that Allister himself has expressed, according to information from media very close to the player's entourage, his predisposition to join Barcelona. The Argentine is fully aware of what it means to play in this club, of the responsibility it entails, and of the opportunities that will open up for him, both sportingly and personally. His enthusiasm at the idea of wearing the Blaugrana jersey is a determining factor for the operation to have been unblocked so quickly and for everything to indicate that he will be one of the great transfers of the summer. I would also like to highlight the role that Joan Laporta plays in this operation. The president has once again demonstrated his skill in managing complex negotiations, pulling the necessary strings for the transfer to conclude satisfactorily for all parties. It is not easy to negotiate with a club like Liverpool, which does not easily part with its best players unless all its economic demands are met. But in this case, Barcelona has been able to present a serious offer, in line with the market value of Allister, which has facilitated the advancement of the negotiations. In short, I think we are facing a transfer that marks an era, that raises the level of the team, and that excites the supporters. That is why I would like to take the opportunity to ask a question to all Kuhl supporters. What do you think of this transfer? Do you think, like me, that Allister is the player we need to strengthen the midfield and take a leap forward in our game? Personally, I think so, that it is a strategic transfer that responds to an obvious need and that, moreover, is executed with intelligence, taking advantage of a market opportunity and responsibly managing the club's resources. Leave us your opinion in the comments.